Good morning, it's Wednesday, Parshas Kisaitzai, Vuv Elul Tufshim Pai Vuv, August 19, 2026. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and it's good to be back on Edge with the news.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.
It's been a long summer vacation, I know. 6 months into the war with Iran, and here is where things stand. In June, both sides signed a paper, the MOU, giving them 60 days to make a deal. Those 60 days, well, expired this Monday. No deal, no talks. The whole fight is now over the one narrow strip of water. It's not over. It's over the one narrow strip of water. Well, if I would post one of my news episodes from 2 months ago, and just change the date, it'll be the same thing. The Strait of Hormuz. Trump says America controls it, and it's open. Iran says it stays closed until America lifts the blockade on Iranian ports. Both can't obviously be true. So the ships aren't moving, oil prices keep climbing, and Trump is telling Iran to raise a white flag, to give up, other words, while he wants to put an American flag on the Strait of Hormuz. Wait for this, but first, tasks joy. Whether you're an accountant or a salesperson in Manal Gashmi or running a Heimish business or whatever, any business, you need one simple place to keep everyone on track, right? Forget complicated CRMs like Trello and ClickUp and paying money for things you're never going to use, features you're never going to use. What's the point? Tasks Joy puts the joy into your tasks, okay? Gives your whole team an easy way to share tasks with a board, ready-made templates, built-in chats with automatic translation. So let's say you have a team of people speaking Spanish and you're on the go, and you want to just talk to them in English. They'll understand what you're saying because you can just type it in your language. They'll see it in their language and they can type back in their language. Anyway, that's what Tasks Joy is all about. Enjoy a 10-day free trial by mentioning on Edge, tasksjoy.com. That's TASKS joy.com. All right. President Donald J. Trump posted a new picture on his Truth Social account. And the picture says the following. The picture is of the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow shipping lane, we always mention, and he is calling it now a new United States territory. This happened hours after Iran said the key shipping route would remain closed after the 60-day negotiating period with the U.S. expired without a deal in place, like I said, on Monday. At the same time, a cargo ship passing through the Strait of Hormuz was hit by an unknown weapon, a projectile. The strike damaged the right side of the ship and injured one crew member without, obviously, an oil spill. President Trump announced that all water mines have been removed or blown up. In the same post, he also said that the waterway, the Strait of Hormuz, is now open and fully operational, but confirmed the United States naval blockade is obviously on Iranian ports is still fully in place. The Saudi Aramco has already restarted commercial oil shipments through the water. And now Iran is saying the exact opposite. Iran's lead negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf told the parliament, his parliament speaker and the lead negotiator, on Tuesday that Tehran will not reopen the Strait of Hormuz until the United States ends the blockade and meets other conditions. Well, they want money, obviously. Iran's deputy foreign minister Kazem Garibabadi also responded to Trump's post. He warned that soon Trump's delusion regarding the Strait of Hormuz, that the United States will own it will become United States territory, will be corrected, or Iran will correct his delusions. President Trump insisted there are no talks happening right now with Iran and he's not interested. However, reports say the head of Iraq's Kurdistan region organized private, his name is Nechirvan Barzani organized private meetings between the United States and the IRGC, Iran's terrorist military group, whatever. They have held 2 meetings so far. The United Arab Emirates announced today that they're stopping all trade with Iran, all business, all money dealings until further notice. This came after 2 ballistic missiles aimed at ships in the sea fell into the sea near the Emirates, and Iran says it wasn't even them. Nobody was injured, obviously, but this one hurt Iran a little bit. The Emirates was Iran's second biggest trading partner. So, no tricks, just soda. Maim just launched a new organic soda, the healthiest, most honest soda on the kosher shelf. Soda is soda, right? It's that drink that goes tss news, right? You might think it hasn't changed in decades. Perhaps a new brand or two have made a label for themselves, but no one has taken soda anyplace new. Besides, Maim Chayim has done consistently this very thing over the years. The first to broaden the range of kosher flavors. The first to introduce the aspartame-free clear sodas, a very common artificial sweetener, right, instead of regular sugar. The first to update their machines for the new physiology, fizz. And the first to offer alternatives to harsher ingredients. After years in development, new to the kosher market, Maim Chayim introduces a full new line of organically sweetened, junk-free sodas. Maim Chayim Organic is all about what stayed out of the bottle. In other words, no artificial citric acid, no artificial sugar, no bleached sugar, and no artificial colors, no preservatives. The most powerful global brand would love to say the names, say the same about their beverage, but none of them think like Maim Chayim. Ki ein Maim elu Chayim. And available in your local groceries where soda is sold. Now, let's continue with the news. The US-led Board of Peace, chaired by Trump himself, is considering a new disarmament plan for Hamas in Gaza. The proposal, which follows a ceasefire plan pushed since July 30th, requires Hamas and other Islamic terrorists in there to hand over all their weapons in one single step. This must happen before the Israeli military withdraws completely. Once the weapons are handed over and checked, Israel would pull its forces all the way back to the Gazan perimeter rather than just the red line right now. Until now, Hamas said no. Yes, the weapons can be watched by a third party and they won't touch it, but it can be watched by anyway. Yeah. Netanyahu has insisted there will be no IDF redeployment from Gaza until Hamas is fully disarmed and all of Gaza is demilitarized. Every weapon, light and heavy, and every tunnel. Hamas says it is still committed to the older 15-point deal, while the United States is holding direct talks with the group, with Hamas. The IDF sealed 2 tunnels this morning in the Gaza Strip using heavy cement. The IDF conducted a strike against Hamas military wing commander in the Nazareth area of the central Gaza Strip today. According to the IDF spokesperson, the person who was targeted had participated in the October 7th massacre. Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich said he will not accept the Palestinian Authority assuming control of Gaza under President Donald Trump's peace plan. Smotrich and the Palestinian Authority supports. Smotrich said that the PA supports terrorism. Obviously, they pay out. He said they did not sacrifice lives for 3 years to just replace one enemy with another and hand Gaza over to the PA, to the Palestinian Authority. United States Ambassador Mike Huckabee says international forces right now operating in Judea and Samaria. Huckabee was interviewed by Israel's Channel 12 on Tuesday and said that countries including Canada, the United States and European nations are working together to reduce violence in the area. The ambassador also spoke about a specific incident in the village of Kusra, where extremist settlers surrounded several homes and they threatened to attack. Because one of those homes belongs to an American citizen, Huckabee said that the US is involved now. And Huckabee also used his interview to deny reports of a fight between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the US envoy Jared Kushner. Yesterday, a 4-hour meeting was held between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US envoy Jared Kushner, the Jewish son-in-law. And now, after the meeting ended, the media reported that they had a disagreement and that Kushner felt like Israel was basically taking it a little bit too far. The meeting ended with an agreement allowing Israel to continue only targeted strikes in Gaza for now. The Israeli military announced they have brought back remains of a soldier who has been missing since 1982. Yehuda Yekasil Katz, Hashem Yikadomer, was killed in the First Lebanon War. The Mossad and the military intelligence group Amman led the operation to find him. Katz was officially listed as the missing in action for 44 years until his remains were returned to his family this week. Kosher skinny shot. What's kosher skinny shot? So if you're anyway trying and you want to lose weight and you plan to go on the shots, the best way to do this is obviously not alone, because if you go alone, yeah, you can do it yourself, but then like without any controls, nothing. You need guidance, and the best way to do the guidance is with Kosher Skinny Shot, because they have the expertise, they have the right people on board, and they can help you, walk you through it, check for risks, anything you want. Obviously check with your doctor before you do anything, but the point is Kosher Skinny Shot does all that. So 845-456-8924. You can still enter the raffle to win a free month with Kosher Skinny Shot on calling me on 845-671-1775. Press 5 and you'll enter to win the free month with Kosher Skinny Shot. Israeli fighter jets bombed a Syrian military airport near the Turkish border, dropping at least 8 bombs on the Abu al-Duhur base in Idlib and destroying 4 newly rebuilt runways. Oh, that was a big smack, a big patch. After a 20-hour gag order, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office took responsibility, claiming the strike was to stop the Turkish military from placing troops at the airbase there. Turkey strongly denied the claim, calling it a fabricated excuse for Israel's upcoming October elections, while the Syrian government, led by Ahmad al-Shara, labeled the bombing an unjustified aggression. The Trump administration had advanced warning of the strike, and President Donald J. Trump spoke with Turkish President Erdogan hours beforehand. What they said, but the U.S. ambassador to Turkey, Tom Barak, warned the operation almost caused a direct military conflict. He said Turkish forces didn't know the Israeli jets were coming and nearly scrambled their own fighters in response. He called it an unnecessary escalation. American officials are now working to set up a direct communication center between Israel, Syria, and Turkey to prevent any future mishaps. United Nations nuclear inspectors discovered 50 tons of hidden uranium and a large amount of some sort of material used for uranium inside of Syria. UN nuclear chief Rafael Grossi led the team to 2 sites kept secret by former Assad government, the Al-Kibar reactor, which Israel bombed in 2007, and a facility outside of Damascus called Site 99. That's what it's called, Site 99, where the uranium metal was stored there. Now, Syria's new government, led by former Al-Qaeda leader Jolani, Ahmad al-Shara, allowed the inspectors in after the Trump administration worked out an understanding between Israel and Syria. Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaibani says the country wants to build a civilian nuclear energy program and will keep the uranium under UN watch, while Grossi noted the UN still needs to complete a full count of the materials found at the site. Top United Nations officials are dealing with heavy criticism after they lit a tribute flame for a candle for a man who was actually a field commander for Hamas, who was killed. On June 8th, the UN held a memorial service for agency workers who died. They honored Imad El Samouri, a long-time teacher and principal for UNRWA and the UN agency for Palestinians, basically. But a new video released by the Islamic terrorists showed Al Samouri was also a terrorist commander. The video showed the school principal walking out of underground terror tunnels holding machine guns and grenades. The head of the UN demanded they take back the honor and apologize to the victims. The Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Ghalibaf, arrived in Baghdad for an official visit and gave a speech right at the airport site where the United States killed Qasem Soleimani during the previous Trump administration between 2016 and 4 years. Standing next to the statue of Soleimani, the Abu Mahdi whatever his name is, Ghalibaf claimed that the men saved the region from ISIS and that Iranian resistance is now spreading around the world. Afterwards, he held a formal meeting with the president of Iraq, Zaidi. Iran's collapsing currency is causing new economic protests across the country. The rial has fallen. Back in December 2025, the $1 American bought roughly 1.4 million Iranian rials, but today that exchange rate has fallen to 1.9 million rials for a single dollar. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel and his right-wing bloc would secure a 63-seat majority in the Knesset now, according to a new poll released Tuesday evening, right after the Likud party primaries. Likud remains the largest party with 32 seats, followed by Gadi Eisenkot's party with 24 seats only. Shas takes 10 seats, United Torah Judaism gets 7, and Naftali Bennett's party dropped to 6. When asked who is the best to serve as Prime Minister, 55% backed Netanyahu compared to 35% for Eisenkot. Lemonade Supermarket. Lemonade Supermarket is your best current supermarket in the country. In the Catskills, 261 North Main Street. Write it down. Write down the address. 261 North Main Street. Okay, that's in Liberty, New York. You can also call them to make your deliveries. 845-218-1244. Shabbos is approaching. It's Wednesday today, so you gotta be prepared. Make your order now. They also have Zaftik, beautiful, good deli. They have sushi there. They have the best produce, by the way, in the country. Find it there. Go a good, big, wide range of kosher food and products selection. You might find the Maim, Chayim organic selection there too. Yeah. Let's not forget the Halo 2 high-functioning water as well. Anyway, President Donald J. Trump just delayed a 50% tax tariff on billions of dollars of Canadian imports. What happened? The tariffs were scheduled to start on Wednesday, today, at 12:01 a.m., 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. They would have applied to the items like alcohol, hockey equipment, cement, and dairy. Well, Trump announced last night, that he is pausing the tariffs for 3 days after talking with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Trump posted on Truth Social that the two countries have a deal as long as the final documents are finished, being completed. Prime Minister Carney said important work still needs to be done. Obviously, President President Donald J. Trump's approval rating dropped to 33% in a new poll, the lowest point to his current presidency. The survey shows Americans are increasingly worried about how long the war with Iran is continuing. Well, the war, the confusing war, along with the damage the conflict is doing to the economy and the oil and gas prices. President Trump wants to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Donald Trump is pushing for another face-to-face summit with Kim Jong-un in order to discuss negotiations over the North Korea nuclear program. He wants to potentially visit North Korea during his November trip to Asia. Trump recently ordered a significant reduction in U.S.-South Korean military exercises and repeatedly claims he has a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un. North Korea has expanded its nuclear and missile capabilities and strengthened military ties with Russia, but remains unwilling to surrender its nuclear arsenal. Election update. War Secretary Pete Hegseth is visiting Iowa. The Washington Post reports that officials close to him say that he might be thinking about running for president in 2028. Those officials say the trip looks like the actions of someone planning a campaign for when his time in the Trump administration is obviously over. The United States has placed financial sanctions on the president of the International Criminal Court, the ICC. The Treasury Department targeted two top officials at the court. They are the court's president, Tomko Akana, and a senior lawyer, whatever his name is, Abdullah Sayya. Anyway, the sanctions freeze any money the two individuals have in the United States. That means bonds, that means stocks, anything. The punishments also block them from using the American banking system. Secretary of State Marco Rubio explained the decision. He said the two officials were punished for trying to prosecute government leaders whose countries never agreed to the court's rules. Japan criticized the United States over this decision. 4 more homeowners joined a lawsuit to stop New York City new tax on high-value second homes. And there's a lawsuit going on in Manhattan. Sorry, we didn't separate the news. This is the tax that Mamdani passed in May to try and close the city's budget gap on second home ownerships, right? He calls it the paid a tier tax. Pronounced, Pidater, and refers to a second or part-time apartment, basically. First, the city published an outline database containing information of over 900,000 residential properties, which included owners' names, addresses, and property valuations. This was a huge mistake because it was only supposed to target about 13,000 luxury second homes. Now homeowners say the city is making mistakes and trying to charge massive taxes on people's primary homes by accident, and that they are getting their names and addresses mixed up. A court hearing is scheduled for August 31st. The Belzer schools in Montreal won a legal case to stay open and keep their government funding. Quebec's administrative tribunal cancelled an order today that would have taken away their licenses to operate. The case involves a kindergarten, a Talmud Torah, and a yeshiva ktana that serve about 600 children in Bucharim. 2 months ago, the Quebec government tried to stop their funding right before the new school year. Officials claimed the schools were not teaching enough secular subjects and lacked enough English and French teachers. The government also said the schools used unapproved books and had problems with emergency exits. School administrators went to the tribunal to fight this decision. They argued the government used incorrect facts and went too far. A tribunal agreed and cancelled the government order. The 3 schools, the yeshiva, the school, the kindergarten, have now their permits back and they will operate normally, Baruch Hashem. A Chinese manufacturer is now selling Stramlich online for $960. You can now go to Alibaba and search Streimel Jewish Hasidic hat and order a Streimel made from real sable fur. Unbelievable. The minimum order is how much? 2. You can only order 2 at a time. So, do you think we should ask them to be a sponsor for our show? Speaking of sponsors, you can always call, obviously, 845-671-1775 and press 1 and speak to one of our representatives to have to speak to get transferred to our sales rep, or basically talk about the show and see how you could be a valuable asset and how we could be a valuable asset to yourself. By being a sponsor, you help the show run, obviously, right? Shawarma Delight is obviously there for you if you want to be delighted with a good shawarma. 26 Spring Valley Marketplace. It's in the marketplace. It's off exit 14, Maim, like on the way to the country, back to the country. Now, people are coming home already, so stop by for a shawarma. Mention on Edge, get a free drink. Your kids get free ices. You can also order on sdny.store. Free delivery within Muncie area, 845-272-0011. Go call them, find out. They still have the lamb left because it's a big going item. Trust me, YS Capital Group is there for you if you want to borrow some money for an investment, a real estate investment. You need money, right? You want to borrow some money? The best place to go is YS Capital Group. Why? 718-831-2168. The answer is yes. And ask them about the no closing costs. Mention on Edge. Maybe you get some special deals there by locking in your rate. You never know. Arrive Express. You book a taxi. You want it to be express, fast, and also you want it to be reliable. So, 845-622-1111 or 845-254-1111. That's from Palm Tree, KJ. And when it comes to designing software, some people have told me they tried with AI, with Base 44, with all these different kinds of, it's complicated, trust me. You want to have a professional and also someone who understands you. If you're, let's say, a Gala Bes Medrash, you want to build a beautiful, nice software for your Bes Medrash. You want to be professional, good, a CRM system, but, not complicated, but easy to use. You need to talk to someone who understands this. So he's Chayim Shingeman, Protobyte, leads a team of designers and software web designers. 347-354-1237. Check out their portfolio on proto-byte.com. Okay, my friends, have yourselves a wonderful day. We'll see each other Be'ez Hashem tomorrow. Yes, as usual. Happy to be back.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.